Hey everyone, I'm back for another ENDMS training video. Today I'm going to be talking about how to add and remove barriers in a profile in ENDMS. So this should be a quick one, but it is an important one. So this time you won't start in the tab up here, you will start in the profile of the student who you're working with. So you'll go to their profile. In this case, again, we're working with my test profile, and click on barriers. You'll see the different barriers pop up here like this. Our hard and fast guideline is we don't delete barriers. The only circumstance in which you would delete a barrier is if you accidentally entered it. So unless you accidentally clicked and saved a barrier. And in that case, you will have to, the system won't allow you till you'll have to get a confirmation from one of us in the statewide team. So, but in that case, just let us know, I accidentally entered this. That's simply because, again, it goes back to wanting to remove a barrier that you have worked to help the student overcome versus delete one. So, for example, in this case, a past record of excessive absences, that one is a little bit gray in terms of if that's a barrier that you could actually remove. But if we were talking about like a student being a refugee, a student having been in the juvenile justice system, a student having a parent that did not graduate from high school, those are barriers that you will not be able to remove, but that is perfectly okay. That reflects the students we're working with, and we want that information to be accurate and in the system. But let's say that a student comes in with low academic performance, and through JMG you've connected them with tutoring, you've provided them time in class to do catch-up work, you are checking in with their teachers, and at some point during the year their academic performance starts to increase. You are going to enter a date that barrier has now been removed for them. This date does not have to be 100%, that could be kind of a gray area. So we can put in, let's say March 1st was when the progress reports came out and you saw that their academic performance is increasing. You will submit that and, okay, update. In this case, the data is saving successfully. What happened there is I click submit, but that was actually submitting for here. So the update is what the data saved successfully for the barrier removal up here. So that kind of brings me naturally to this piece down here. If you have a barrier that comes up, a student becomes pregnant, a student becomes homeless, a student's academic performance goes down, you can add that barrier. And it is important for you to keep track of those things. So this is where you will add barriers. You won't do that in the student profile. So you will not come to their profile and click another barrier here and then click save. The profile serves to act as a snapshot on this date when the student entered the program. So, if a month later, 6 months later, a year later, their barriers are different, this is where we do that, and then the date will reflect that. So let's say that, they enter the program, and this is a little bit unique because of the test case, but let's say, they entered the program and then a new barrier comes up. Let's say they are pregnant. You will then submit that and it is going to populate up here. And so in this case, the is pregnant barrier, not one that we can remove. Obviously, someone will no longer be pregnant at some point, but that's not something that we can have an impact on. you know, we could provide services and support around that barrier, absolutely, but to enter a removal date here would not necessarily make sense. So that is how we remove and add barriers, and just the reminder that we do not delete them.